What's up, everybody? This is Trey from NintenDomain, and I am here to bring you the top 10 games of 2019. 2019 was a really great year for the Nintendo Switch, and there were so many good games, so it was very, very difficult for me to put this top 10 list together. So I just want to say that if you see some games on there that you really like that aren't included, it's not because I think that they're bad games, it's just that I think that they didn't fit in this list. This is a list of my favorite games, not necessarily what I think is the best. I base it on the time that I spent with each of these games. Some of them I may not have completed all the way, but I put them on the list as the parts that I played and how much I enjoyed those parts of those. So that's how I got this list here. And there were a lot of games, and I wanted to include as many as I could. I could have easily done a top 25, but here we go. This is our top 10. And yeah, it was a hell of a year, and there was a lot to go through. So yeah, let's get going now. Friends of Ringo Ishikawa coming in at number 10. This is probably one of the most unique games that I've played all year. It may start off looking like a River City Ransom type game here, but there's so many other things you can do. Your friends get into trouble, you have to help them out. You can go to school, you can go to classes, you can get your grades up, get scholarships to buy things. You can even read books in the park while your friends wait for you. There's just so many things to do. It was almost reminded me of Persona, but with no places that you actually have to be. You don't really have to be anywhere. And there's a Tokyo type place that you can run through. You can even get a job at a video rental store to try to get some extra money. There's all sorts of things you can do, including buying a ping pong table for the top of your school, among other things. You can even start fights with friendly gangs where they will give you a warning if you end up doing that. But you can fight with most of the gang members and other people in the town, but it's cool that there are consequences for some things. And there's even a smoke button, a button that lets you just smoke. There's also a killer soundtrack that makes you just want to sit and watch the clouds go by. I liked Friends of Ringo Ishikawa so much that I played through it a second time so I could get enough money to get the Famicom system, as you can see me playing right here. It's a wonderful game and you should definitely get it, and that's why it's at my number 10. Coming in at number 9, we got Ring Fit Adventure. Have you ever wanted to have an RPG and an exercise game together in one? Well, that's what this game is. You basically get to fight this giant dragon thing that's way too pumped up for anybody. He's a super jerk, and you get to take that fucker down. You get to build up your own moves as attacks just the same way as you would in an RPG. As you level yourself up in the game, you're actually leveling yourself up in real life. So you do real actual exercises to fight people, which is pretty rad. As you go through each of the levels, you gain more and more experience points that will give you different exercises that you can unlock as you go. And you can basically, pick whatever loadout you want here and choose the ones that you actually like to do. So if you don't want to do planks, you don't have to have planks on there. There are a lot of cool different ways to traverse the land by doing different exercises, like this one right here where you turn from side to side to row a boat, very much like Wind Waker is kind of how it looks. There's also the vitality sensor, thing Nintendo always wanted to push on us, is in this game. And there's mini games that you can do just to focus on certain types of things. There's like the Thigh Rider here, and there's like different cool ones you can do, like this version of whack-a-mole here as you push the ring in or pull it out to hit different guys. There's also like a balancing act where you walk and move yourself side to side. You can also compare your scores with other friends on your Switch. As you go through the game, you get to go through the shop and you can buy different clothes and other things like that to help out your character. You can also buy potions and soups to heal yourself, and you can also buy ingredients which you put together and squeeze them into each of the protein shakes. Ring Fit Adventure is a great adventure, as it says. It's a lot of fun where you can go through and level up your character and level up yourself through different exercises, and there's all sorts of fun stuff they throw at you on each of the different levels. I definitely recommend it for my number 9 pick of 2019.
Charge your squat power, but don't overextend yourself. Release victory!
Coming in at number 8, we have Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered. That's right, it's remastered because you're on Mars. Red Faction Guerrilla was so much fun. It shows how much you can destroy with just a hammer. They took the geomodification effect into full effect in this game and let you destroy practically everything there is. I really enjoyed that like every man-made structure that was in the game could be completely destroyed with your hammer or by other means. You get stuff like rocket launchers and missile guns and stuff like that to destroy all of the things that you need to destroy as you go through the game and try to fight against the oppression of the EDF. On top of that, they give you the ability to turn invisible, so you can run right up to bad guys and just knock them down with your hammer. Made me feel like a superhero as I went through the game, and that made me enjoy it so much more because of that. I could just take people down, I could jump on top of tanks and just knock them off of their rides. It was so much fun. They went out of their way to make the planet feel like it actually had different neighborhoods to it. You look at Mars and it just looks like a red planet, but they made different districts that feel completely different in the way they're structured and the colors and the way that all of the mountains look and stuff. It's incredible like how well they did to make you feel like you're in a different neighborhood every time you get to a different part of Mars. It's so much fun. It has everything that I'd ever want in an overworld sandbox game. You have interesting cars, you have science fiction stuff, you have aliens, you have all that type of thing. And it's so much fun to drive from one place to another in here because everything looks so gorgeous. They really did a lot to make the mountains and the peaks and stuff of Mars look incredibly beautiful as you go through the different neighborhoods. And all the different colors, and some stuff is more rock, some stuff is more sand. They just went through it and just made it really, really cool. It very much looks like a cool alien planet. I spent a lot of time playing Red Faction Guerrilla just because of how much fun it was and all the different missions that you had to do on here. I went all the way through the regular story and even did some of the DLC because it was so much fun to play, and I highly recommend it, and that's why it's number 8 on 2019.
I came to Mars to make a living, keep my head down, stay out of trouble. But I found something here I wasn't counting on. The Red Faction gave this planet a voice. Mars gave us a home and a dream of a new world.
That's right, coming in at number 7 is Dragon Quest Builders 2, the sequel to the game that was on my top 10 list last year, Dragon Quest Builders 1. They've basically done everything that they can to make it better this time around. Now you can choose male or female to start with, and the game takes place in Dragon Quest 2 this time instead of 1, where you basically hang out with Malroth, the boss of the NES game. This game was released day and date at the same time as the PS4 version, and the graphics were pretty comparable, so it's great to have it come out at the same time as the other systems and have it portable. I I know it sold a lot more on this than it did on PS4. But yeah, Dragon Quest Builders 2, just as fun as it was before. Minecraft with a point this time, as you go through and attack all of the different Dragon Quest characters and monsters. This time around, we got a lot more area to explore. You got a home base where you can build stuff. There's a nice 8-bit map that you can check an overhead of. A bigger area for you to look for, different islands for you to sail to from one to another, or you can just hang out in the water and just float around. You can build your own home base with pools and castles and other stuff like that, and you basically go out and try to save the worlds that are not growing plants and all that. You get a lot more items this time. You're a lot faster. You can kill characters better. It even has a first-person view, much like Minecraft. So if you didn't play it before because there was no first person, well, now you got it this time, so you can feel like you're actually playing Minecraft this time, but with a nice story and nice characters. There's monsters that join you in your towns and help you build the town and help you grow stuff. And there's a whole ton of farming in it this time. There wasn't much farming in the first one, but now we got a lot more stuff to do. Plenty of vegetables to get as you build your town. And in order to build your town, you basically have to do things to make the people in the town happy, which give you hearts, which basically make them level up the town, and you get more stuff as you go. Of course, you can blow up a lot more stuff than you could before, with bigger bombs and big explosions and more areas to cover. It's a very fantastic game, and I love playing every minute of it, and that's why it ended up on the number 7 on this list. And also, you can get your own guys to build for you this time. How fucking great is that? I've never seen anything better than that. Put them to work. Let them build the town for you.
The werewolves, did we raise our swords against them? Or have we laid this burden on others? On so-called witches. The battles are the gods' whip, chastisement for our sins. And let us not forget the terrors, the scourges from beyond our world. The wild hunt rides the sky with every full moon. Unite around the warmth of the eternal fire. Nigh is the time of the sword and axe. None will fight this war in our stead. Nigh is the time of madness and disdain.
Number 6 on the top 10 list is The Witcher 3. The game that everybody said could never happen on the Switch finally did happen on the Switch. Considered by many to be the game of the generation. From back in 2012, The Witcher 3 has finally arrived on Nintendo Switch, and I'm very happy about that. The game is a lot of fun. There's every mission that you do seems just as important as the last. There's some incredibly crazy stuff in here, like this demon baby right here. But yeah, everything you do in the game makes a difference. It looks great for what it can do on the Switch. I feel like it runs really well, especially in handheld, as you move around on Roach or run around as the Witcher yourself. Even in the secondary missions, you can do stuff like use your Witcher senses to follow the smell of a beast to its hideout, other cool things like that. I felt like everything that I was doing in this game meant something, and I felt like the game was incredibly fun to play. It's fun to just like start it up, do like a side mission or a secondary mission. Any mission on The Witcher is fun to do. And there's great how you get to choose what you're doing. Everything kind of seems to result in one thing or another. And there's so many different decisions in the game that will affect you in the long run that you just don't really know what to do. Like here is a small mission I was doing right here with a wolf, where they just kind of throw this right on you.
She was to see you turn, not more. I didn't want her death. You've got to believe me.
I don't. And I'll kill you willingly. First time for that, in fact.
You won't kill anyone, ever again.
I'm so happy that The Witcher 3 has made it to a Nintendo platform, and I'm very excited to play it this year. And it's great to play on the handheld. If you haven't played it before, definitely check it out, and that's why it's made my number 6 on this list.
I name thee Daya, and embrace thee as my daughter.
Good. Now bury the body. So here our paths diverge. Thank you, Daya. Go in peace.
Coming in at number 5, it is Tetris 99. That amazing shadow drop that came from that February Direct way back when, so long ago at the beginning of 2019. Tetris 99 has been a game that I've probably played more than any other game in 2019. It basically took one of the best games of all time and made it better. Just imagine Tetris, but with 98 other people, basically doing Battle Royale. It's the only Battle Royale that I've really liked. I played Fortnite for a little bit, but Tetris 99 keeps getting played over and over and over again. They've added daily challenges to where you have something to do every time, and they've done a different event for every month depending on game releases or just doing contests to win 999 gold points for the eShop. They even did a theme for the original Game Boy Tetris graphics, and even with the same sound where you hear that amazing Tetris noise. Yeah, Tetris 99 has been dealing it out every month and been incredibly supported from Nintendo. There's even a paid DLC bundle that you get where you get to play local multiplayer and even marathon offline, just like the old Tetris. Basically pay that $10, you can play not online, and you can also play against a computer, so you know what it's like to get a Tetris Maximus. They've added a bunch of different things. There's a group mode now too, and they continue to add stuff from upcoming games, and Tetris 99 has remained incredibly fresh and still a lot of fun to play. I can't wait to see what the new themes will be for all of the new games that come out in 2020, as hopefully they continue to support Tetris 99 through all of that. And not to mention, they've added a lot of free DLC stuff where you can play daily missions to get enough points to unlock their own special levels, including ones based on Mario and ones based on Donkey Kong and even a Legend of Zelda one. There's plenty of stuff to do in Tetris 99, and that's why it makes this the number 5 game of 2019.
It's you.
Fire Emblem 3 Houses coming in here at number 4 on the list. Fire Emblem 3 Houses basically took all of the great stuff from the old Fire Emblem games and made everything a little more personal this time around. We have all of those turn-based battles that we loved as much in the last one. This time you're the professor of a school where you get to see over your students and basically teach them how to go in certain ways. You can basically encourage them to be knights or to be wyvern riders or to be whatever they want to do. You can also take them all out to tea and have tea with them and encourage your social links in that way. It's great because instead of like finding characters on the battlefield this time around, in this game you get an amount of people in your group that you're teaching and you basically level them up. So it seems like it's less, but you're more personally involved with each of your characters. And you can actually get people to join you from other houses, so you can even recruit people if you have buttered them up enough through like tea time or giving them presents or even bringing them on the battlefield with you. Side quests such as Tea Time are really interesting, where you basically take someone, one of the students or one you're trying to recruit, and you have a tea party where you ask them different questions in hopes that they will like each of the questions, and that's how you can raise your social link with them. You can do the same thing by battling with them on different missions as you go through, and eventually at some point you're going to have to take the students that you have, and there's going to be like a 5-year gap, and everything will change to where you'll basically have to fight against the other students from the school. The story is incredibly epic, and there's 3 different sides you can choose. Which of these sides that you choose will basically change the way the story goes. So as you start, you get to pick between 3 different houses, and each of them have a different story. So you're basically getting 3 games in one, and the game is over 100 hours for each of the playthroughs, so you have plenty to do there. Also, after the 5-year mark, you can start to develop relationships with your students. You can basically find one that you'll choose at the end of the game to be your life mate, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Whenever your link grows, you get to see scenes like this.
Unless you'd like to take care of me into my old age. That'd be something, eh? How about it, Professor? I wasn't... You aren't being serious, are you? I was just teasing. Or did you really just consider spending your whole life with me? The thought hadn't crossed my mind before, but come to think of it, that might sound pretty nice.
This new release of Fire Emblem for Switch really adds a lot to the game, and it makes it a lot more enjoyable than it was. I've already liked the Fire Emblem series, but this one really just made it incredible for me. That's why it's a definite recommend for this year, and my number 4 on this top list of 2019.
Looks like... You really think I'm that great?
Coming in at number 3, we got Pokemon Sword and Shield. The newest rendition of Pokemon for the Nintendo Switch is here. Now it is officially a console game and a portable game, and everything is much bigger this time around. You can do Gigantamaxing, you can make your Pokemon super huge and fight other Pokemon who are also super huge. It's massive scale on this one. They've gone all out with making all of the characters much, much larger. We have some cute new Pokemon to choose from as well. We got our 3 guys here. We got Sobble, we got Scorbunny, we got Grookey. The fire, water, grass type Pokemon are super playful as usual, running around and messing with each other. Super adorable as always, and now it's in HD, and now it's on the Switch, and this is your full-on Pokemon game. None of that let's go bullshit. It's totally the right way this time around. And the graphics look great. I mean, look at these worlds, very heavily inspired by London. The Galar region, just as you walk through, like all the colors really pop, and all the characters look great. They've also added a Wild World area now with the camera angle. Crazy, Pokemon with the camera angle. And you can walk around and you can see all the Pokemon just hanging out. There's no random battles anymore. You can actually see what you're fighting. They've also taken the giant scope to the gyms, so now you can fight the gym leaders in these giant stadiums that feel very much like a live soccer game or any other sort of live sports activity like that. It's super cool and it looks great, and the fans look awesome. Also, now you have a bike where you can ride super fast whenever you want to, help you traverse through the game way quicker. And there's even some new versions of old Pokemon, like this Galar style Meowth, or different evolutions of older ones. Like we get this nice Kiss looking Linoon here as it turns into Obstagoon right there in front of you. There's also some really weird new evolutions, like spinning up this this Cool Whip Pokemon right here, which I thought was probably one of the most interesting ways that I've seen a Pokemon evolved in any of the games. There it is. Look at it in its creamy beauty. Alchemy right there. Pokemon Sword and Shield just has so much creativity and so much style and just so much epic fights. We have so many new gym masters to fight and all of these different things to go through. There may be less Pokemon to catch this time around, but that didn't bother me at all. I like having less, and it seems like more of an attainable goal to get 400 Pokemon instead of like 800, 900, something like that. Yeah, I really enjoyed Pokemon Sword and Shield. It was so much fun to play. All the characters were so genuine and charming, and that's why it is number 3 on my top 10 2019 game list. Oh yeah, and did I mention that there's cooking this time around? Yeah, you can get food and cook stuff for your Pokemon. How cool is that?
Oh ho ho ho! Oh yeah! Ha ha!
At number 2, we have Luigi's Mansion 3, another adventure with the eternal understudy, and I'm very happy to see Luigi back in his own game. I really enjoyed Luigi's Mansion 1, as short as it was, and I really enjoyed Dark Moon as well, and I feel like this game has taken both of them and put them together and taken all the good stuff out to keep for both of them. Luigi ends up on another ill-fated trip with his friends Mario and Peach and the Toads and all that stuff. They end up at a mansion, but this time it's a giant hotel. Luigi's friends and his ghost dog and him all get attacked by King Boo, of course, in the hotel, and King Boo turns all of his friends into portraits, so everybody is gone. So Luigi, having narrowly escaped from King Boo himself, basically has to go and find all of the portraits and find a way to free Mario and Peach and all of the rest of the Toads. In order to do that, you basically have to find elevator buttons that will take you to different floors in the hotel. There are many of them, and yeah, you will find them through bosses, and every time you get one, you get to unlock a different level, and each level is completely different from the last. Like, there are levels that are set on movie sets. There's a medieval level where you just step off right into a castle. There's a level where you step right off of the elevator into an atrium, like filled with different plants, and you have to fight a giant Venus flytrap type thing. There's another one where you get off onto a pirate boat. There's so many different things, including the origin of the evil piano from Super Mario 64. There's a lot of fun to be had as Luigi with his friend Guigi go out and try to solve different mysteries to figure out how to get the button for each of the levels. All of the levels in the mansion are very much fun to play, and everything is always incredibly cool. And there's fun surprises around the corner, like that girl right there from The Ring, who just happens to be in the game. But yeah, no, I had a blast playing every part of the game. All of the bosses are incredible, their animations are great, and they all are very varied. I felt like the game never really repeated itself from what I played, and it was incredibly fun to play, and it had an enormous amount of charm, and I loved every moment that I played it. Everything was very cool. Luigi was always funny and scared, as he normally is. There are so many interesting things to uncover as you explore through Luigi's Mansion 3 on each of the floors and all of the interesting stuff that are there. The ghost busting is a lot of fun as well. It has the same mechanic as the previous games, but it's been tweaked to the point of where it's incredibly fun, where you basically suck on the ghosts and you can take them and slam them onto the ground in order to deplete their energy and send them back into the trap of your poltergust. Luigi's Mansion 3 rightly deserves its spot in the number 2 of this 2019 list. It's an absolute joy to play, and it's one of the most unique games I have played in a very long time. It's definitely like nothing else that you have seen on the market, and I advise everyone to check it out for sure, because it's fun, it's scary, and it's just a great time giving the love to the forgotten little brother Luigi. Go, check it out.
Haha! Got it!
Ore nante tondemo ne gasu. Ashi wa tada. なんでありゃ。
いやー、何よこの化け物イカ。一体どこから湧いて出たの？
We are at the top of our best 2019 games with our number 1 here. Dragon Quest XI, Echoes of an Elusive Age, Definitive Edition S for the Switch. That's a mouthful, and the game is definitely a handful. There's lots and lots of hours of enjoyment here, hundreds of hours of classic RPG goodness. Dragon Quest is basically the RPG series, the one that started it way back on NES, and now it's back with Nintendo with this port from the PlayStation 4 version. Probably the best way to port something. We have orchestrated music this time. We have Japanese voices, which you didn't have on the PlayStation 1. It's all completely portable now with the Switch. We have a mixture of the Switch version and the 3DS version. In this version, you can play it in 16-bit mode or 3D mode. You can basically go through the whole game in 16-bit mode, like an old-school RPG, which is pretty freaking awesome. Especially for someone who has a hard time playing 3D games, you can play it like that. If you want to go super old school, you don't see the enemies, they're all random battles, and all of the cutscenes were in there, and you basically get to play through the whole game like that. And it's super cool. The levels are different. Also carried into this from the 3DS mode is the Street Pass stuff, where you can travel back in time into the original Dragon Quest games. So you can go from Dragon Quest 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 and go back to those stories and basically work in the background of the story and do different things to do different missions and get extra items and stuff like that. And it's really cool that they included that. That wasn't in the PlayStation 4 version. So it's a combination of both of them, and they are on there. But aside from that, the game in itself, Dragon Quest XI, is a fantastic RPG. It's definitely the best turn-based RPG for the Switch as of right now. I recommend it to everyone because there is an 8-hour demo that you can download for free on the eShop. So anybody who's remotely interested in it, you can just go and download this 8-hour demo, play through all of it. It carries on to the actual game, so you don't lose any of your progress, and that is the absolute best way to try it out. It's a whole 8 hours, so if you played it for that long, you probably like the game, and you can play the rest of the 90 hours that are left in the game. The game's incredibly long, the characters are awesome, the story is great, the cutscenes are fantastic, the story's written really, really well. I don't know what all I can say about this game to try to tell you how it is my number 1 game of 2019, but you can use pep powers where you combine the skills of 2 characters to do a sort of move to enhance you or to fight the other people. You can go through your skills, you can mold your characters in which way you want to go, if you want to be strong with axes or swords or knives or whatever. You can also build your old armor with your forge. You can make your own like shields and helmets and swords and whatever with your fun time forge as you go through and learn how to use different flourishes to make everything great. The game is fantastic. All the characters are awesome. It's I don't know what I could say about it. It's incredibly long. It's the art is great. Akira Toriyama is doing all of the monster artwork again from that of Dragon Ball and all of the original Dragon Quest games. It's yeah, so long. Lots of end game stuff. They've even added extra stories that were in the 3DS one that were not in the PS4 version. So yeah, you are getting everything in this. You're getting the ultimate 100% definitive age Echoes of Elusive S Definitive Edition Switch version right here, and that's why it's my #1 game of 2019. Check it out.
見よ、煙の好機につられて光り輝く蝶たちがやってきおった。この蝶を人の魂と見立て、命の大樹へと送る。それをもって死者の殴